you for joining us for our 7th episode of We Burn, We Rise. Today I'm joined by Hyperion and Karma. Developers Rx and Rob are in there as well. Rob, I believe, is reporting from the brand new HQ of the Phoenix Foundation. I see Fluffy in the chat. Our new consultant partner and friend, Mike of Cobalt Lend, is going to be joining us as well. We're happy to have you all here with us today as we bring you updates from all across the Phoenix Initiative. Today, we're going to be providing updates in regards to branding and socials, Fire Swap, the new HQ, and staking. Lastly, Karmageddon, where Karma is going to be chatting with Mike about the many things he's bringing to the project. We're then going to open up the chat to Q&A. Keep in mind that the Q&A is recorded, so we appreciate the community's adherence to keeping the discussion profanity-free. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Robin to talk to us about FireSwap.
Yeah, so I've told a handful of people the past week I just got back from vacation, but I am building through the decks with a newer framework that will add more of those creature comforts that I talked about on the last episode. So stuff like if you're trading from asset A to asset B, it'll show the price, the total price in whatever currency you're swapping from. Fluffy, myself, and we're trying to loop Dustin into this. We're also working on a custom bridge to get Phoenix on any other chain. But the reason for doing this is also we need wrapped Phoenix on our chain. That way the transactions run a lot smoother. So it's just going to be a tokenized version of Phoenix, like you see wrapped Ethereum, wrapped BNB, and all of those, because those tend to be the main currency you'll trade with on any one of those exchanges. So I'm also working through adding in the multi-hop, which if a liquidity pool does not exist between token A and token B, it'll take the best route between token A and token B. So let's say you want to trade, you bridge over Ethereum and there's not an Ethereum Phoenix liquidity pool, but there is a Ethereum USDT and USDT Phoenix pool. It'll basically hop between those three to give you the easiest transaction rather than having to do two swaps. So that's one of the things we're also working on as far as that goes. But all around, I'm getting a little bit happier with where the DEX is at now. I don't have any preview because it's primarily back-end work. But it is going to go off the same design, just a little more refreshed than the one I showed a handful of weeks back. But now that I'm wrapped up with some of the clients I've been working with the past couple weeks, I have a lot more free time to be able to knock all of this out. So I'm hoping that I'll have a preview up very soon for the decks, maybe a testnet preview for people to play around on. Once we solidify a couple things. Fluffy had thrown me a short list of some items he wanted me to hit with the decks, which fall into that creature comfort category of stuff that you see on every other decks that we will want and need to have on ours, so that way it's a very smooth user interface. One of the things Fluffy and I had talked about before I went on vacation was that lottery mechanism that we were wanting to add, just to add some more fun things to the decks. It's not an immediate feature I plan on adding, but it is a feature that I do want to continue working on. Last week, I think I had mentioned potentially wanting to look at a burn for the lottery. I'm actually not considering a burn anymore after talking with Fluffy some more on that. We kind of had an idea of taking a percentage of what's put in the lottery pool and adding it into liquidity pools as well as a governance wallet. That way, the ecosystem is constantly sustaining itself rather than burning a portion of the supply. Because eventually, if, let's say, we have 5,000 users all playing the lottery, that's a huge rate of burn for Phoenix, which could be good, but at the end of the day, since we are looking at some things on the back end, I don't want to leak anything, so keep it a little vague. But just to ensure that the ecosystem continues to grow and doesn't dwindle too fast, we're not playing with the idea of a burn with the lottery anymore. So I'm still working my butt off through all of that. Now that I'm back in town, feel a little refreshed and all of that after my short vacation. I'm excited to actually get this knocked out. Um, and that's kind of where we're at. A lot of it's the back end work for the decks, making sure everything's functional, making sure that everyone has what they would want out of it, and aren't missing anything that our bigger competitors already have integrated. Um, and then I think I said this in the notes chat or one of the other chats, but I do plan on adding an Easter egg into it. For those that don't know, Easter egg is just something developers will put in like a game that you just happen to stumble across or hit the right sequence of buttons and it pops up. I'm not going to say what the Easter egg is, but when everything's live and functional, I do plan on adding a fun little something in there that you may or may not ever see. Pancake Swap, as an example, has the Konami code in their decks, and if you put it, it starts writing pancakes. So that's kind of a example of what I want to do, just in a different variation of that. So that kind of covers all the major updates I've got for Fire Swap this week. But since I'm full focused on it now, I'll have more frequent updates for our core team, as well as long as I'm allowed to leak, our all of our community members, or at the very least the node holders, as we start looking into testing this thing out.
Excellent. Now, moving on to the socials, Hyperion, I know you have been working like a madman to get the branding realigned and all the socials. So let's give us an update on that.
Starting to look more like a madman too, I hope, with the beard and this will get trimmed eventually. We're not doing any rebranding of any kind. It's just we're trying to help funnel things correctly. We were all over the place with a couple of different lingos that we were using. We still like to say it's our Phoenix initiative in general to get this stuff going, but the whole idea is to just kind of get it aligned correctly. So we are the Phoenix blockchain. Our coin is Phoenix, which is PHX ticker, kind of modeling off of what Ethereum is with Ether and ETH, and trying to make sure that all the socials say that same exact verbiage instead of we had some, all over the place, some Phoenix initiative, some Phoenix chain, some, yeah, anywho. So it's now Phoenix blockchain is the overarching idea. Phoenix is the coin. This stuff was already updated, but it was just all over the place in the socials. And you'll see me on TikTok now, I guess. Because we are on TikTok. We have a brilliant mind that came on from the Cobalt team, Muchin. I hope that's how you say it, but he has been helping guide me because I have no idea what I'm doing on TikTok. I don't know why I'm on TikTok. I do know why. It's a very popular platform. It's a very good way to reach some of the younger generation as well as give information. Some people have told me that they have never heard of crypto until randomly they heard of Shiba Inu, for instance, on TikTok, and that's how they invested and made money, right? So you got to cover all your bases. We also have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, syncing, Medium articles. We'll start posting that very shortly. So we're working on all of those channels. You see me mostly on Twitter and Discord and Telegram, but expanding into the other horizons, I guess. Yeah, and maybe it'll all really nicely flow eventually, but working on that step by step. So better quality of life stuff in socials. And thank you for the Cobalt team. I mean, they came in and they literally they showed us where we can fine tune things just a little bit, and that's going to be enough to broaden our SEO or capture more audience members, right? So definitely happy with the partnership and the counseling that they've given us so far. So
awesome. Now, speaking of Cobalt, Mike, do you have any updates for us?
Yeah, actually, I want to jump in here and talk about a lot now because you guys know me, man. I love to talk. So we actually have a lot of partnerships and everything that we want to discuss today. But first, I wanted to talk about just what Hyperion was saying right here. These guys are doing great, man. All we did was actually just come in and show them a little cut, like you said, simple little tweaks to get them on track. Man, these guys are absolutely doing a great job here. I can't be enough in awe of just being able to hang out with these guys. So, but either way, I digress. Let's get over to some cool stuff. Everybody knows that Chronic Labs has been hanging out with the Phoenix blockchain for quite some time. These guys got an educational platform that you'll see Learn to Earn becoming real very soon on the Phoenix blockchain. Prior to that, we've all partnered together to bring Paradox Realm, the play to earn game that's been 2 years in the making. That will be hitting officially the Phoenix blockchain. So, and then they bring their auditing services and everything with it. We're bringing some more people. And then one of the big news that hit this morning, well, big news for us because we had to convince our NinjaSwap guys to stop working on their artificial intelligence protocol to coincide with their metaverse on the Unreal Engine and start working on integration for the Phoenix protocol at NinjaSwap. So once we set that integration up, we're also going to NestSwap to do the same thing over there. And then, man, it just keeps snowballing from there. Besides the fact that RYI, I don't know if we got any of those guys present in the audience today, but they just got the approval last night, I believe, in order to start getting some specific banner ads in the top of their Apple-approved wallet, i.e. specifically for Phoenix blockchain and all the cool stuff that we're got going on here. So either way, I talk too much, man. I'm going to kick it back over to you guys.
That's really
Thank
exciting.
You. Yeah, that's fantastic. I like the little the MoonPay thing on the website as well. It's really cool. I see Rob is always watching as always. Do you want to hop in and say anything, Rob?
He might be just on listening. He said he'll showcase the office maybe next week, but
okay.
Yes, speaking of MoonPay, so we are working to integrate Phoenix into there, but right now, if anyone is interested or needs to buy Bitcoin, you can just go onto our website and use MoonPay, which is already integrated there, to buy the Bitcoin. Then you can transfer it out to either ZegX or Easy Finance or Phoenix, and then you can purchase their Phoenix. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool update, yeah.
Awesome.
And we're hoping to have Phoenix token actually available inside of MoonPay before the end of the year. That's the goal. You know, we want to make sure that it's rolled out correctly and everything. And again, that's Rob's domain and whatnot, but he's got corporate offices and everything set up first, man. This guy's making big moves. I love everything he's doing over there. So, but yeah, I mean, he's already made the first step. He put MoonPay right into your guys' website like that. Awesome. Get Bitcoin right there. Take you straight over the exchange. Start trading, buying Phoenix tokens. Get them now, guys, while they're cheap. Because, yeah, we got some plans.
Indeed, we do. Now, Karma, I believe, has a couple of questions for you, Mike. If you'd like to hand it over to her, and we can do Karmageddon here right now.
I wasn't sure what Karmageddon was going to look like, considering, you guys are our new consultant. So I really wanted to talk to you and chat a little bit about the Paradox Realm. That site looks super cool. I love everything about it.
Yeah, of course. It was actually an accident that we got Paradox Realm. Our artificial intelligence team had been running just machine learning algorithms in the back end, trying to do player prediction models on a bunch of different games for a couple of years now. It's how they fine-tune just everything that they were playing with in order to get what we call extrapolation models on player economies. So we started consulting on this particular project, I think it was summer of last year. And then they went to mint out. It was a very small team. They went to mint out, and it did not go well. So it was one of two options: let the project die, or we take it over. So we took it over, and our artificial intelligence team stepped in and said, well, we already know how to run these servers. We already know how player economy works. What if we take that game and we actually use database injection and start pulling things in and out of the game and then relating it to the blockchain with a ledger? So fast forward a couple of months after that, and then here you go. We have an actual play to earn game that any game that you want, it doesn't matter. You know, you can earn money inside of those games in an entire library and bring it out to the blockchain. Now, originally we were going to do this on Binance because, obviously the cheapest fees. But then we got to talking to all y'all over here at Phoenix, and we're like, oh my God, like this is unreal. You know, you're fast, you're cheap, you're reliable. Oh my God, yeah, I'm so in. So we started rethinking the model. Yes, we started rethinking the model.
I do love that. I love the whole site. It looks really cool the way it's already laid out. Now let me ask you, is it kid friendly? Like totally anybody could use it, anybody can navigate it?
Okay, yes, the site it is. And you got to remember about Paradox. We did not monetize the game itself. So the first game that's dropped in there is basically a clone of Grand Theft Auto, just changed pretty much every aspect, but next game will be Red Dead Redemption. And after that, we got a first-person shooter game lined up. But the model is that we monetize the player's time, the actual player themselves, not the game. So you drop down in the game, and it doesn't matter what NFTs you minted out, whether you minted out a character that now has a gun and a car and all that. You're in, 1950s New York. You jump into the next game that's an old West or something of that nature. Obviously, you can't take a car, a Tommy gun with you. Now your NFT translates into a horse and maybe an old revolver. So you're able to jump seamlessly in between these worlds and bring out whatever you've leveled up to. If it's money, assets, whatever, they all go back to your central ledger or your central player account. Mm-hmm. That's what Paradox Realm actually is. Everybody, because we only rolled out the one game, it's extensive. To develop these games, it takes a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So we just rolled out the first one, which is basically, it looks just like Grand Theft Auto, if you remember playing that.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, you monetized Grand Theft Auto. We're like, no. We monetized all games. We just started with this one because everybody knows and loves this one. So going back to the kid-friendly part, we have to put a disclaimer up with Rockstar Games that says you have to be 13 years old to play it. But, everybody here remembers what goes on in Grand Theft Auto. We did cut a lot of the stuff out that was really lewd, but there's still quite a bit in there. It's pretty heavy-centric on drug dealing and things of that nature. That would just really depend on the guardian, the parent, if they allow their child to interact with the thing. But I really like this. Me and my kids are heavy into PC gaming. So when I tried to get them into play to earn games, you know what I heard? I don't want to play this game. I don't want to do this one. This is, all of the no's I got from them. So being able to pull it out of any game you play is a real game changer. I love that. Yeah, and again, that's even though we're rolling out a library of games ourselves, the end goal is to basically just apply this model to everybody's games, because everybody's out there trying to say we're building a play-to-earn game. It's a lot of side scrollers, things of that nature. What they really haven't figured out is how to read reliably what goes on inside that database and put things either in it or bring them out and then put it on a ledger in order to pay the player. Mm-hmm. That we got down. That we can apply to anybody's game.
Oh, I like that.
I know, and it's all going to be on Phoenix. Isn't that the best part? Man.
Yeah, I see the button here for Phoenix or Solana. So anything you earn is going, like you said, it's going straight to your wallet.
Yes. They'll be actually right now. You can go in. We got the game in live beta, so you can drop down in there right now. We got Cobalt banks all over the place. All the money that you're robbing and stealing, or whatever that you're earning and whatnot. Yeah, you can walk right into the Cobalt bank and cash out. Now, obviously, when the game goes live, those cash out receipts will get translated into tokens and they'll automatically hit your wallet. And then the devs just actually put that in there this morning. You can ask Robin. He was down there helping them out with the chain ID. They were trying to make sure before the webinar today that they would be able to have the Phoenix integration directly into the website. And then there's all going to be all kinds of more stuff going on, man. I love the partnerships. So we're all in this together. You got the Ninja crew coming over there, and now they're also building out against Unreal Engine, by the way. That's our other team. So we have one team that's building out against the Rage Engine, which makes all the Rockstar games. Then we have another team that builds out against the Unreal Engine. So all these guys are now coming together, and they're reformulating the Ninja Swap decks in order to incorporate all the stuff that we need for Phoenix. While Robin here gets his wonderful decks off the ground, it's absolutely going to change the world. Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff coming in that pipeline.
That's so awesome. Do you guys want to see if anyone has questions in chat real quick while he's still answering questions about the site?
I actually have a comment really quick. What I love about what's happening is you're talking about going in between games and trying to meld environments together. I think that's the metaverse, right? Like we keep talking about just one game that has a token and then that's about it, right? But like going between video games, that's where the metaverse actually comes in. And to be building that on Phoenix is so exciting. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like, wow. Sorry, that was my comment.
And again, I know that you're excited, right? Because we've been building the metaverse, and you guys want a metaverse. That is awesome. But at the same time, we're excited because you guys are building an IPFS solution that links directly to the blockchain. That's what makes us excited. And then at the end of the day, we're all going to be doing this together, and the entire thing is going to be end-to-end blockchain. So it removes the Web2 aspect from NFT contract. Dude, I can sit here and talk about this all day. You guys can't get me started, man. We're supposed to be keeping the IPFS solution secret for the moment, but just give me get out here. Stop it. I can't do it no more.
Michael, I have one request. Can we get RuneScape P2E?
Ooh.
And it's a web browser
Actually,
too.
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so
Hmm.
so yes, there is a lot of things can be made play to earn right off the bat, man. And we are not supposed to disclose what is actually coming next in the library, but there is a very popular game that everybody knows called Rust, right? Is everybody here familiar with that? Right? Okay, so the guys are bogged down right now. Paradox Realm: The First World, which is the 1950s GTA 5 clone, almost done. I mean, it's wrapping up beta testing right now, and we're about to go live. And then there's Red Dead Redemption is coming next. Now, it's actually not that bad because it's very similar to our first clone. But after that, the first-person shooter one, that has got us bogged down, man. That one is like, we literally have to bring in an entire another team in order just to – the asset management, it's rough. It's rough. Things move so much faster. So we kind of cycled out of that for a moment, and we went to Rust. So just to kind of drop a little bit of bombshell there right there. We thought the first-person shooter was coming third. Actually, Rust is probably going to come third. So, but while we're doing that, we're going to open it up to where we're going to make the code somewhat open source because we want people to others start playing with it as well. But we'll come in and help you at the same time. So, but yeah, all that's rolling down the pipeline. You guys are helping with it too, man. So our metaverse is your metaverse, and we can't wait to take part in that IPFS solution. That's going to change the world, by the way.
So, Michael, are you going to be doing anything with Justin as far as on the site where you can perform in the metaverse? Are you going to be doing anything with Justin?
Okay, you're talking Dustin from Chronic Labs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That partnership has already been announced. Like, Chronic Labs has literally came in to help out with contract development for the Phoenix blockchain in particular. You know, that partnership got confirmed last night. So he's going to handle that as well. And then as far as performing in the metaverse, we have a live area for everybody to perform in right now. Concerts are happening every Saturday night over there.
Really?
So the only thing that hasn't happened yet is start integrating Phoenix advertising into those metaverse concerts. And that comes this Saturday.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm loving all of these bombshells as I get back from vacation.
We got to see the task board. Like, we got a lot of stuff going on inside of our task board. I'm in there. I'm trying not to flood it at the moment. And again, I'm not trying to be presumptuous. I'm only putting my jobs in there at the moment. But you guys can go take a look. You know, so I'm not like assigning anything to anybody else by any means. But that is another thing. It's like super exciting, man. Like, just to have some organization behind the scenes. I know it's the little things that make you happy. But it's, task board made me happy today, guys. Made Alexi happy too, by the way.
I'd like to see Chevelle perform in the metaverse. I'm gonna be a metaverse concert promoter.
Yeah.
You know, we actually have that as a job. That is actually a real paid job in the metaverse. Because again, we have our own metaverse environment. And we do monetize every job in there. It doesn't matter what you want to do. So if you want to come over and sign up as a beta tester in the game and start try it out. This is open to anybody. You want to be a concert promoter? I mean, we have everything down to security. Everything that you have in real life pretty much takes place in the metaverse, and all these jobs are paid. So, and by the way, they're paid in Phoenix tokens. We're coming soon, by the way.
Oh yes, I need to get on board with that ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool.
You get System of a Down.
Talk about.
This is really nice, and then you have it to where you have advertisement spaces. This is really cool, Michael. I seen that in the top of the game. I was looking at some of the billboards.
Yeah. There's actually Phoenix billboards getting put in there right now. The guys have been, it takes a little while to do asset management, asset swaps is what we call it. Mm-hmm. But you will start seeing it run on social media here in just a few days. Billboards, everything you can think of. We actually have some commercials. They're going to go live in the various apartments because you can buy real estate in the metaverse too. So my guys are making a little, a cool little commercial that's going to play on the TV when the people spawn into, their apartment or whatever in the metaverse.
Ooh.
I want to buy a little hookah lounge in the metaverse. That would be cool.
I know.
Yes, more TikTok content. Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have a Phoenix hookah lounge, okay? Coming.
Phoenix Hookah Lounge. That's awesome. Hey, maybe we can do one of these voice chats in a metaverse setting at one point.
100%.
Yes.
Let's look on that.
100%.
Robin,
That'd be
put that on a post-it note, Robin.
See, I have been wanting to get a VR rig, so might have to twist my wife's arm a little bit on that one, but
Oculus 2 is kind of cheap, right?
yeah, they're only
Unless you're doing like cheap.
I say only, but they're like $300 or not. What is it? Oculus
like
is the
$299.
Facebook one, right?
Yeah, Oculus 2, I think it's $299. If you do the one that connects into the PC drawing power off of your graphics card, those are a little more expensive usually. But the Oculus 2 is pretty good.
$300 is not a bad entry point for somebody that doesn't have like the super rig already. It's very accessible. I like that.
Yeah, because I remember when I first started playing VR, I want to say like 4 years ago, getting like a used HTC Vive, that was like $800 before the graphics card. And then you have the graphics card and you're at like $1,200 just to play VR. So yeah, I've played with the Oculus before and it's a lot of fun. I actually want to get the Microsoft HoloLens and play around with that.
For like $3,000?
It's an eventual goal, okay? I know they're overpriced, but it's a fun toy. I mean, my vision for it is instead of having my single monitor or two monitors, just being able to have those virtual monitors where it's like, all right, I'm going to turn here, there's that screen, all right. Like, that's kind of the concept I like.
Yeah, me and my
Was that
boyfriend.
in Catch Me If You Can? Sorry, was that in Catch Me If You Can where he like reverse engineered stuff off of that HoloLens? Do you know, or was that in Minority Report?
Yeah, that was...
And he had like... Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's kind of the vision I have. It's like, oh, I need all 15 screens open at the same time. Cool, I need this little bit from here. We're going to pop that there, and then... Yeah, I also want to play around with, like, the 3D modeling with that sort of stuff, so...
If I would like to do a shameless plug at the moment, if we could.
Yeah, of course.
Our metaverse is VR compatible, but it's only with Oculus at the moment. But we've never had any beta testers sign up. We literally had one sign up that had the setup, and he did not know how to use his own setup. So if there's anybody listening in the audience right now that would like to be, no charge to be a beta tester, man, we're actually hooking you up. We're paying you. If you got a VR setup and you want to come try out our metaverse, please, by all means, we need this. We don't have any analytics right now on people using our system with a VR setup, especially if you got Oculus. That's the one we already know, like, we have the code working for. We can at least provide support for it. So, yeah, if there's anybody here listening in the audience and you're like, yeah, man, I got a VR setup and I want to go play a game, cool. Come on, we got you.
Yeah,
hit me up.
Can you drop a link to where you want them to contact you?
Oh, they can DM me directly. Man, if you got a VR setup,
okay.
and if you know how to use your VR setup and you want to get involved in the metaverse and you want to let us actually observe this and do a little bit of testing, man, hit me up directly. Michael from Cobalt, by the way.
I'm
Michael,
going to
I
go
might go
see
grab
if I
one.
can ride my
Cool. Get in, dude. Yeah, man. By all means. Love to have you in there.
I'm going to try to bribe my nephew out of his VR. So let me rent it from you, but there's something.
Yeah, by all means, man. I would love to have that in there. That would be great to actually get some legitimate testing on a VR setup. We've not been able to do that. Just they're not readily available like you would think. So, like here in this panel, does anybody actually have one in their possession?
I do. I have an Oculus Rift.
I'm not sure what brand my nephew has, but I know he just got one. He just got one, and he was telling me about it because I'm his guinea pig when he needs extra components to whatever. Yeah. His parents get him a game system. his game and money tokens usually is untouched. So I'm gonna see what brand he actually has his VR setup. I know he has the whole setup at home.
One of our Discord admins, Nostra, I'm gonna send him your way if I can get a hold of him. He's definitely got an Oculus as well, so yeah, I'll let you know when he messages you or if he comes into the chat.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just imagine eventually having that whole, like, if anyone ever seen Cowboy Bebop, Ed, how nobody knows. She's always like traversing the metaverse and like, you know, coding and destroying people's security systems and copying files. It was so cool back then, like 20 years ago, and it's like, when is this going to happen? Right?
We're getting closer. I mean, we are like this close to being able to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Or Shadowrunner, was that the other game? There's a game where you like were one of the little guy, top-down, 2D, long time ago, role-playing game, and then you would dive into the metaverse. I think it was Shadowrun. It was an intense game. Back when roguelikes were not popular.
Oh, roguelikes.
You know I'm still playing Hades. Whenever you guys ask me what I'm still playing, it's still the same answer.
It's so good. Have you? How far are you into Hades?
I've gotten pretty. I think I've finally got to the point where I'm like beating him every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to unravel the story.
Yeah, my go-to weapon is the spear.
I like the spear. I don't like the gun.
No.
I like the gloves. The gloves are my favorite.
The gloves are awesome. The gun is trash. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
awesome gun, and it sucks.
It's gotten to the point wherever like a family member drops something on the floor, they blood and darkness. a great thing for my 14-year-old to be saying, I'm sure. But you know.
Oh boy. That's kind of how my obsession with Elden Ring was. Like, I was just saying, "Oh, tarnished! Oh, foul tarnished!" Like to my wife, she's like, "What are you saying? Why are you saying that to me?"
It's a video game reference. Come on. My I can't remember. Oh, so I was playing Apex like 3 or 4 nights ago. I was playing like 1 or 2 games, and I was playing awful. And then out of the blue, my wife was like, "Damn, your entire team is carrying you so hard." And I was like, "Who are you? I've never heard you use game terminology before." And she was like, "And you used it right? Who are you?"
She's smack talking you.
She was. I was so proud and offended at the same time. I was like, like, okay, she always makes fun of me when I play games because I'm bad at shooters on PS4. I blame latency because the latency between my PlayStation and my TV is awful. Right. So I blame it on that. Yeah. But I fully admit I'm horrible at shooters. So it was kind of like a weird smack in the face wake up call to hear her say I was being carried. It's like, okay.
It was like, how dare you?
How dare you be so right? Let's see.
Okay, my nephew said he has Pimax. Is the brand? I'm not sure.
That'll work. I literally have one of my beta testers tearing me up in a side chat. He's like, "I have a VR setup. Why am I not playing?" And I'm like, "Man, we didn't tell you guys because we didn't know how to support it yet." You know, so yeah, get your nephew in there, get you set up. It's all good. We got you.
Well, and the other thing is, like, eventually, I'm sure you'll be tackling this too, but like, this is like the cell phone, right? We pay $1,000 for these, right? So as long as you have, I don't know, like, I think Google Cardboard is like $25 or something. Mm-hmm. Eventually, accessibility to this, right? Like, this is probably your most frequently used device, and you can put that on a VR. It's not always easy to use a cell phone for VR platforms, but if anyone doesn't really want to go buy Oculus, they can probably go and venture into VR that way too. Mm-hmm. Just to at least take a look if it's worth it, right? Like,
yeah, it gets rid of that startup cost. There's that, whatever the little Bluetooth controller is and the little head thing. Yeah. $50. Yeah, $50 is a much easier sell.
Yeah, I think on Amazon you can actually pick that up for like, like 50 or less.
Yeah.
And it has that little Bluetooth controller. You go into a rec room, you're like, what am I doing in here?
Yeah, that's always been a big thing with gaming, right? Is it's like if my kid says, "Oh, I want a PS5," it's like, right, I'm not paying a scalper $800 for that, but it's like, I can have $20 for this plastic controller, fine,
Yeah. That's
doable.
the hard thing right now is, like, for me, like, I want the PS5. I don't have the time to play it, but when I did have the time, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $300 over MSRP for a slightly better console. I do want it for the controller. That's the only reason I want the PS5, is that controller is so cool.
It's absolutely amazing. And since you like roguelites, Returnal is so intense. It is such an intense game. And it's out on the PS5. Returnal. You have to look this up. It's
all right. You gotta
it is
DM
so
me
intense.
that because I'm like this close, probably a couple weeks from looking at a PS5. So,
oh man, it's so cool. It's like what Risk of Rain did, but it's better. It's like, how did they do this?
all
It's
right.
so good, and you feel like you're playing Contra half the time because the enemies will shoot out not rays, but like those laser bubbles, and they'll be all in a line. You're like, oh, it's a different reality of Contra. It's
Okay.
so cool.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the info on that because I'm curious.
Oh man.
All right, Tom Key, I'm good. I've seen you in chat many times. I will challenge you to a game of chess.
Dude, he's so intense. I played him yesterday. He is so good at chess. Oh my god. And he plays. You can only play a minute total on each side. So you have to. Yeah. So it's like your move takes away time from you. So you just have to keep moving.
Oh.
You both have a minute timer. It's so insane. Like, I think the longest we played was 30 moves, maybe. I don't know. Like, I lost so many times. I think I was 11-0. He is so good.
Dang. I'm trash at chess.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like everything has been answered. So that I don't get chewed out by fire. Or does anybody have anything else, or do you want me to bring it home?
Trying to think here. I wish next time we'll get Dustin in here because I know there's some stuff he probably would like to talk about, but he didn't respond to any of my DMs. So yeah, I think we're good to wrap it up.
All right. Where's my script? There we go.
Can I just say no one rugged? No one rugged.
No one rugged this time.
7 times the charm.
We did it. Uh-oh. Someone's gone.
Oh, no. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you all again next week for the 8th episode of WVWR. Wishing every member of the family a fantastic week. Thank you, and we'll see you in chat.
See you in chat, guys.